What's going on, guys? It has been brought to my attention. It's been almost 5 months since I've done an upload here. So we're gonna do an upload here. I apologize. I've got another channel for car stuff. The whole summer I was doing car stuff, and while I still love watches, I've been kind of engrossed in that. So again, my apologies. I am back. Let's get us to 1,000 subscribers so that we can really start building this channel again. And again, that's totally my fault, and I apologize for it. So a couple of things down the line coming towards you guys. So one, I'm going to do a new series. I haven't decided what to call it yet, but basically you see a lot of watches both in magazines and on YouTube and Instagram and all those places, and you see the watch, you see the front, you see the back, you might see it running, but you rarely see inside it. So I have an opportunity to see inside a lot of watches due to my hobby, due to my job, and so I thought you guys might want to see into them. So basically they're going to be shorter videos, basically taking a watch of all price points and opening it up and just taking a look and seeing what's inside, so you can actually see what you're gonna get if you buy that specific watch. So that's one thing we're doing. And then another thing we're gonna be doing is like the video today, simple visual comparisons between two similar timepieces, or two timepieces that are sort of marketed for the same thing, like two divers or two chronographs, or in this case, two MoonWatches. So let's get to it. So we're going to get started with this visual comparison of these two awesome MoonWatches, my Bulova on the right and this Omega Speedmaster Professional, brand new, on the left. You can see more similarities between the Speedmaster Professional and the Bulova Lunar Pilot chronograph than there are differences, but there are differences. Date window on one, Hesselite versus sapphire crystal, lots of things like that, and we're going to get into those. This is not an in-depth comparison. This is just a visual comparison. One of the things I wanted to look at was the chronograph function. You can see a slight tick of the large chronograph hand of the Speedmaster Professional, as with the Bulova Lunar Pilot chronograph. You can see a much larger tick at 6 on the Bulova for the seconds hand, and a nice smooth sweep of the subdial at 9 on the Omega for the seconds hand. Huge difference in sweep versus tick on the sub-seconds on these two watches. But the large chronograph hand is almost identical. There's a slight difference, but we're talking thousands of dollars difference between these two watches, and a very, very, very similar sweep between the two. So I'm going to stop this Omega, and you can see a nice hard stop. When we reset, a quick snap back for quick resetting and recalculating or retiming. If we do the same thing for the Bulova, it's much slower back to the 12. Looks very cool, but if you're having to time lapse repeatedly, that's going to cause a huge issue, as it takes a few seconds to get back to the 12. So even more seconds to start it again. If we look at the case backs, we have the high polish versus the satin finish. And this Bulova, while we talk about the satin finish, it's now available in a PVD without date and also a polish without date. But this is the first one. I bought it when it was first introduced. And so I got the satin finish. The Speedmaster, of course, is available like this one, with the beautiful Hesselite crystal, the rounded crystal, and the non-display case back, the MoonWatch case back. But you can get it in a sapphire sandwich, which is sapphire on top, sapphire on the case back, to see the gorgeous movement as well. But me personally, I love the Hesselite. I think it adds to the shape of the the casing. I think it just adds to just the romance of this watch. Beautiful the way it reflects light. I have nothing bad to say about the Omega Speedmaster Professional in either Heslite or Sapphire. They're fantastic watches. If you have the means, definitely pick one up. You can see the case back on this one. The case back deems it flight certified by NASA for all its moon missions, which is another reason I really like this one as opposed to the display case back, is it's just been around a lot longer. It's very comfortable on the wrist. It sits low. Lug to lug is not bad at all. Fits great on my 6 3/4 wrist. And while we talk about lug to lug, that's one of the issues that people have with the Bulova, is the lug to lug. My other issue is how flat it sits on the wrist. It sits high, it sits flat, and because of that, it doesn't fit incredibly well on most wrists. But for the history of this watch alone, yes, it's slightly larger than the original. Yes, the original was a one-off piece that never actually got produced. Yes, the original didn't have a date, but the heritage is there. You know, this was a watch that was used by Dave Scott. He used it, he put it away, he sold it, and now we have this special edition commemorating it. Still cool. It may not be the same watch, but it's as close as we have. So this one is a high beat quartz. His was a mechanical. So that is different too. But it's like I said, this is as close as we have to Dave Scott's watch that was worn by him on the moon. So, you know, if you're a fan of space exploration, space history, definitely worth picking up, just like the Omega Speedmaster. And, you know, there's actually other moon watches out there, or space watches, I should say, out there, like this Strela Seconda, a Russian chronograph for their space program. But this was just a short visual comparison of a couple of watches. Decided to throw this one in since I'm wearing it today. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you enjoy this, we'll do a whole series of these little visual comparisons. But while I'm on it, these Strelas are pretty awesome. Done by the USSR, the first Moscow watch company for the Russian or the Soviet Air Force and the cosmonaut program. Pretty cool. Please like, subscribe, all that stuff, and stick around. We'll have more stuff. I promise it won't be 5 months before the next upload. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.